Hello, I'm Mr. Franklin, and today what we're going to look at is two-step dimensional analysis. Maybe even multiple-step dimensional analysis. So we're going to take what we learned in the last video and we're going to expand on it. We're going to start, and just remember, as we expand on this, the whole point of this is to see the practice in things that you are familiar with before we jump into units that you've never heard before in your life. Okay, so let's get started. I have 75 inches and I want to know how many miles it is. So inches to miles. So I know I have 1 foot equals 12 inches. I know that there are 5,280 feet in 1 mile. What are we looking for? We are looking for miles. So I'm going to start with, what was I given initially? 75 inches. Draw my line. What unit goes down here? Inches. What conversion factor has that? This one, right here. So I'm going to use that one. I'm going to put 12 inches, but what goes with it? 1 foot. Okay, inches divided by inches cancels. Now what do I have? Do I have my answer? Do I have miles? No. So I'm going to have to write feet, because there's feet here. So I'm going to have to write feet down here. And now I'm going to do 5,280 feet in 1 mile. Now, this is the one. Now that we're ready, we got feet divided by feet, and they cancel. This is the one where most people mess it up in their calculator. Okay, because what most of you will do is you will type in 75, hit the divide button, and divide by 12, and then you'll hit the multiply button and do that, and it will give you the wrong answer. Okay, so here's the rule. Multiply everything across the top. So 75 times 1 is 75. Multiply everything across the bottom. So that's 0, 6, 9, 24, 33, 363. Okay? Now, so I multiply across the top, write it down. Multiply across the bottom, write it down. Now I go back to my calculator and I divide. Okay? So 75 divide 63 360, and you should get 0.00118. 0.00118 miles. Does that make sense? Miles is a pretty big distance, but my actual measurement is pretty tiny. Okay? So remember, in this conversion, the numbers are changing, but the actual measurement distance that we have measured has to stay the same. Okay? That's why this works. Now, some thoughts on this. Calculator. If you've got a graphing calculator or you've got a fancy calculator on your phone, you can do 75. Wait, hold on. I'm used to using old school. Let's see. Does this one have? Okay, it does have parentheses. So I can put parentheses 75 times 1 times 1, close parentheses. So I've multiplied everything up on the top, divide parentheses 12 times 5280, close parentheses. If you don't use the parentheses, you're going to get a wrong answer. It's just the way it's going to happen to someone. So if you have to put them all in order and you want to put them all in at once, the top goes in parentheses and they're all multiplying. Divide button, parentheses, put everything on the bottom, close parentheses, and then hit enter, and you should still get the same answer. Okay? This is really important that you do a common sense check. Inches is a pretty small measurement. Miles is pretty big, so this number should be really itty bitty tiny. So we're given 75 inches to yards, so my given is 75 inches. My conversions, 1 foot equals 12 inches. 3 feet, I'm writing too fast. 3 feet equals 1 yard. What am I looking for? I'm looking for yards. So I'm going to write 75 inches because it's what I start with. I got inches, so inches goes on the bottom. Which fractor has inches in it? This one. So it's 12 inches. How many feet? 1 foot. Is that what I'm looking for? Am I looking for feet? No, I'm looking for yards, so I've got to write feet down here. So where's my conversion factor? So now I got 3 feet and 1 yard. Okay? And now I do the same thing. Multiply across the top, multiply across the bottom, and then divide. So I'm going to have 75 divided by 36, which is going to be 2 point something. Okay? 75 divided 36 equals 2.08. 2.08. Do not forget to put the units at the end. What should it be? Should be yards. Is that what we're looking for? Yes. Then we have finished the task. Okay. Here's another one for you. You try this one on your own. Do 365 centimeters to miles. Okay? Use your conversion factors and try that one out. So we wrote our given, 365 centimeters. These are all the conversion factors. How do you figure these out? Okay, well, I start with what I was given. I found the conversion factor that had centimeters in it. What was it linked to? What was centimeters linked to? It was linked to inches. So then I go and I find a conversion factor with inches in it. Okay? So I find inches. What is inches connected to? It's connected to feet over here. Does it look like I'm getting closer to miles? You see how that's actually progressing me and stepping me towards where I get to miles? That's kind of how I pick these, because I'm already seeing this in my head. Okay? So now, centimeters divided by centimeters, inches divided by inches, feet divided by feet cancels, and I'm left with miles. Is that what I'm looking for? Yes. So now I can plug it in my calculator. So let's try some parentheses. If, come on. Okay, parentheses. 365 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is just 365 divided by parentheses 2.54 times 12 times 5280 close parentheses equals 0.00226, and that's in miles. Does that make sense? 365 centimeters, that's really not that long, so that's a short distance. 33 centimeters is a foot, okay, so that's 10 feet. How much of a mile is 10 feet? Not very much. That is the basics of dimensional analysis. In the next set of videos, you're going to be learning how to figure out what the conversion, because that's the hard part with chemistry. Is it's not that difficult, but the challenging part with chemistry is the conversion factors change based on the chemical that you're using. So we're going to learn how to do that, and then we're also going to learn how to take these conversion factors from chemistry and figure out how many grams, that's where we're leading with this. How many grams of a substance do I need? All right, thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.